What I want to show in this session here is how to store points in UMC 3D or iCON 3D, and also how to auto-log points while using the machine. So first I go into my run mode, and here I can see the machine. I'll just rotate it a bit, it will be more visible for you. Under tools, I have something called store point options. If I go into store point options, I can select a coordinate file where I want to store my points. If I click it, I can either select one existing file, or I can create a new one. And here I just give it a name. We call it demo. Enter. And OK. So now I got my demo file here. If I want to use it as a help model at the same time, so I want to be able to see it in the screen, then I press the H, and when I do that, I'm activating the same file in the background. Below, I type in a point name, and usually it's the easiest with numbers. If I start with point number 12, for example, then below here I can tick if I want to go for an average measurement. So if I have an excavator, for example, and I put my bucket down, then I can press the average and tick that one, and when I press the measure button here, it will start to calculate positions, and when I press the button again, it will store the average coordinates. I also can tick the show in run window, and that means that the measure button here will be visible in the window. The coordinates that I see down here, that is the actual coordinate on the reference point on the machine. So it's the yellow cursor, and that's the coordinates. If I measure a point here, it stores it immediately, and you can also see up here that the point name will increase for every time I press it. If I go back on the screen here, you can see I got some points here. If I press another one, then I measure a new point here. So this is a way to store individual points. If I want to store multiple points, then I can go to page number 2, because here I have an auto logging option, and with the auto logging option I can store points in relation to the distance, and I can define the distance between my points. I can do it manually, so I just press the button every time I want to store the point. If I don't want to do anything, I go for none. And also I can select time, and then I have a time interval, so I just type in how many seconds I want to have between each measurement. So let's say we go for 4 seconds. I press enter, and let's leave it there. The point file, I can either pick a file that is already there, and it's a CSV file, so it's a comma separated file. So when I'm going to take the file out from the unit, it will be a CSV file. I need to either bring it into Excel, or I will import it as a comma separated file in the iCON Office software. So it's not a geo file that works directly. If I don't have the proper file here, then I just press the add button, and then I can just type in whatever, demo A, for example, and press OK. Point prefix, that is something I can store together with a point, and if I go for ABC, that could be the header of the point. Then I also here I can say that I can show the points in my plan view. I can record the points in auto, and that means if I have a dozer or a grader, for example, when I flick the 3D system into auto mode, it will automatically start these storing possibility. I can also use external buttons. so I can use the buttons for the cross slope on the machine to activate the logging. In this case, I will just leave it here with show points in plan view, because then you can view it here on the screen. Down here I got the measure points, and here I define which points on the blade or the bucket that I want to store. I will, on this training here, I will store all the points, so it will be both the left corner of the blade, the right hand corner of the blade, and also the center point. So now all the setting is done, and if I now go out again to the run window, you can see here I got an indication that I've got the time as my logging option. I have my left corner of the blade, the center part of the blade, and the right hand corner of the blade. And when I start pressing here, it will start to store points every 4th second. If I zoom in a bit here, then you can see that there are points here. And now you can see I got 3 points every time when I'm storing. When I untick it, then it will store the point again. So now you see here there is a shorter distance between these two, because I disconnected the function before the outside of the interval of 4 seconds. If I do it on a distance instead, I type distance and then I go for 6.5 feet, for example, or I can type in 10 feet. And I start to store the points here, and you can see also every time I click there will also be some points stored, but now it's storing points every 10 feet. If I just want to store 2 of these points, then I need to deselect second page and deselect the right hand corner, and now when I start to store the points, you will see that it's only the points in the center and to the left in the machine that will be stored. And so this is one way to scan a surface. If you've done the final trim, for example, then you can put the blade down, go into auto mode, and then it will just store the points automatically. Afterwards, if I want to have a look at that, if I go into the Tools menu and File Manager, then you can see here that on the test project, if I scroll down here, I will find my demo.geo. That's the file where I created my points manually, and I also have the demo A CSV file, and that's where the order logging points are being stored. To take them out from the machine, you do it the same way, either via telematics or with a USB stick, and then you synchronize. Yeah, that's it for this time.